Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important...
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Home sweet home. Welcome, 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 welcome. How you guys doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Glad you could tune in. Glad you could be here for this amazing event. What's going on? People on Facebook, people on YouTube. Do we have Periscope? I don't think we're doing Periscope. So we're good to go, right? We're good to go. Everybody's all set. Let's go make sure we got some love on YouTube. Make sure we actually run it on YouTube, guys. You know how it is. Oh, see? I wouldn't know, Tim Black. See what we got here, Johnson. Go live here on YouTube. We should be live on YouTube. See how we're doing. I got one caller in the queue already. What's up, caller? No, it's not made for kids, mofo. All right, we got some people up here on YouTube. Okay, good to go, good to go. I don't hear a thing. Hopefully that went off. Too late now. What's going on? What's going on? Mary Warren's in the house. Yeah, Paul. What's up, Paul? Engelbrecht. Give it up for Paul Engelbrecht and Mary Warren in the house in Shoti. And Mama Alaska. Jeanette Eastman, Sirius 76, Shadow President, Scotty Johnson, Bo Johnson, Bo Robinson, Over 50 and Fantabulous, Brian Crosby, what up, America? There it is. I love you back. What up, America? Give it up for that. Make sure this stuff is working. It's working. It's on there. It's doing what it's supposed to do. What's up? Nah. I don't know. Name is NEH. Angry Panda. What up? We're doing good, guys. Hellkite. Hellkite, what's going on, Hellkite? The Black Governor's in the house. Cindy Aguilera. Tony D. There it is. Okay, so good. I'm going to give you information on the Fred Hampton movie. I'm going to update you to that, Tony D. What's going on? Nikki the Hippie Dragon. What up? All right, guys, look, I'm happy to be back. All the stress melts away when it's showtime. Y'all gonna have a lot going on, but man, once I hit go on this, it's gotta all just fall off, man. Because it's time to do the show for the people, you know what I'm saying? Let's go check on Facebook, guys, since I got Facebook back in effect tonight. What up, Facebook peoples? How y'all doing? What's up, Joy and Ronald? And Joy hooking it up. Jimmy T in the house. Raleigh in the house. What's going on? What's up, Shine and Deborah and News Make a Difference? We're making it happen. You guys want captions on or off on Facebook? We could turn on auto-generated captions. I'm just saying no. I think it gets in the way of the screen. I don't really like captions. Right? That's me. We'll let the people decide. Good morning, Johnsons. Natural Greens in the house. What's cracking, Sam? What time you got, my brother? I got all the time in the world, Johnson. All the time the man upstairs gives me. Oscar Mike says, Biden sucks. Man. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. No lies detected. All right, so let's get this going, guys. So we got a few stories we want to get to. Let me put the phone number up, because that's what we do around here. We bring the phone number in the house. Okay, I don't see that phone number thing, man. Daggone it. Where's the phone number thing that's supposed to go here? I don't see it. Maybe I'm tripping, guys. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't see the phone number. 319-527-6212 is the number. I know the number. Did I delete something? I don't know, man. Did I delete it? Oh, crap. Don't want to have to go get that. Okay. So 319-527-6212 is the phone number you dial into if you want to speak some truth to power. And you know that. You know it. Okay. It's been crazy the last couple of days, guys. We got folks without power all across the Midwest. Is that true? Anybody heard about power outages? I've been hearing about power outages. The power grid ain't working so well. Anybody got any family that's in the dark right now? Bad time, man. That heat ain't on, baby. It's a bad time, guys. So I want to send my thoughts out to anybody who's suffering with power outages right now. No bueno. I feel for you on that. Damn it. Let me try to see if I can. See, it's important to have a phone number up, because then people know the number to dial into in order to call in. But we got people in the queue who figured it out, because the number hasn't changed in a long, long time. So I'm just going to see if I can find it real quick. I don't know what happened here with this. Real quick, guys. Gosh. I hate to slow down the show. So that was the 19th? I don't know when the call in. When we do the last call-in show. The last call-in show was Friday, and that was the 12th. So maybe I put one up on that day. I don't know. I don't see it, Johnsons. I don't see it. Hate to do this, guys. I hate to do it. Makes the show look a little unprofessional. And we know how professional this show is. It's a very professional show we got going here. Only top flight security we got going on in the house, man. Can't be making me look bad on my show. Making me look bad on my show. All right. I have it set off or corrected and momentarily. It's kind of important that people get the phone number to dial into, so I gotta grab it. Okay, there it is. Downloading it. Downloading it, Johnson. Okay. There it is. Son of a... What the hell? What the hell's going on here, Johnson? Or maybe when I downloaded it, it was already looking for it, and now it's there. That's what it has to be, Johnson. That's what it has to be. Okay, so I'm not tripping. That wasn't there a minute ago. This just appeared, right? It just appeared, right? Please tell me it just appeared. Tell me Tim Black ain't going crazy. Come on now. Mrs. Black ain't gonna like this. Oh, Tim Black. What's wrong with you, Tim Black? Okay, so what else we got? We got okay, I got a couple story ideas. You know the number to dial into. But I got a couple stories that I want to cover. Remember, guys, if you're new to the channel, if you're new to the show, subscribe to the show. It's a free show. Go to YouTube and just hit the subscribe button. So funny thing's been happening, people. They've been unsubscribing people from my show. So in order to counter that, I need you to subscribe to the show and also hit the notification button so you get all the notifications. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. See? Because here. Oh, listen here. Here we go. I don't know what's going on with these people. Subscribe now, guys. Come on now. Come on, Johnson. All right. Couple of things I want to get into before we get into the phone calls. We have Biden had a town hall. I got a couple clips from the town hall that'll put you to sleep. But we'll go over them really briefly. A couple of clips about Joe Biden's town hall. We got to cover it. He is your president. We got Dave Chappelle. But he put out a new, I wouldn't even call this a special. He sort of got people up to date on his situation with Netflix or Comedy Central. And then he made some comments about the U.S. Capitol insurrection. So we want to comment on that. The LAPD is back in the news, but not for good reasons, Johnson. Pretty sure you already knew that one, right? When's the LAPD in the news for good news? We got a black couple who got a big surprise when they got a white friend to pretend that it was their house or her house they were putting on the market. Yeah. This is what I call white allyship at its finest. This is how you be an ally, Johnson. Whoa. All right. But I want to start things off with this. All right. So on this channel, I've covered Fred Hampton before. In fact, I put out a brief Fred Hampton story a couple years ago, and every year I've updated it around the anniversary of his execution. I've updated that. Well, recently put out by Warner Brothers is see, this is part of the problem. It's people miscategorize what this movie is. Even in my title, I put Fred Hampton movie, but it's not really a movie about Fred Hampton. As much as a movie about what they did to Fred Hampton. That's what I think people are kind of misinterpreting what this movie is. But anyway, the Fred Hampton movie is, you know, Black Panther member, the founder of the leader, the chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panthers. So here goes a clip of the trailer of the Fred Hampton, or of the Judas in the Black Messiah movie, which is a movie about the portrayal and the execution of the chairman Fred. Here we go. That was a long way around the bend, wasn't it? But it's got to be very specific, guys, because people have been misinterpreting this thing. Let me get it wrong, Johnson.
Deputy Chairman Fred Hampton of the Illinois Black Panther Party.
Repeat after me. I am a revolutionary.
You're looking at 18 months for the stolen car, 5 years for impersonating a federal officer, or you can go home.
The Black Panthers are forming a rainbow coalition of oppressed brothers and sisters of every color.
Their aim is to sow hatred and inspire terror.
I will learn all that I can.
These ain't no terrorists.
You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution.
I gotta stop it for some reason. YouTube doesn't want me to play a movie trailer. It's a movie trailer. I looked it up. I looked it up before I played it. It said you can play movie trailers on YouTube. In fact, movie companies want you to play it because it's promoting their movie. That's what I looked up. And I play it, I get a message from YouTube saying, your stream may be stopped. It's detected copyrighted material. Yeah, no, it's a movie trailer. I'm not playing the movie, it's the trailer, it's an advertisement. It's like a commercial for the movie. Fucking idiots. Man, these mofos, man. These mofos, man. Mother. They don't know anything. They just don't give a shit. Now, this could play on CNN or MSNBC or Fox or Vox or whatever and be just fine. But little Tim Black want to play it, and we got to take away his toys. Anyway, guys, you get the gist of it. It's a very polished presentation of the Fred Hampton movie. Very polished. See, now I'm off. See, now, okay, once again. Okay, so I watched this twice. I watched the movie twice. It's called Judas and the Black Messiah. And it's about the betrayal of Fred Hampton. Now, there's been a lot of criticism about this movie, guys, because a lot of people say, oh, the movie's more about this guy, William O'Neill, who is a backstabbing scumbag who betrayed Fred Hampton. Yeah, it's more about him. It's not enough of it. It's about Fred Hampton and the rise and fall of Fred Hampton and what they, and read Fred Hampton's story. And I will agree with you that it's not as much about Fred Hampton as you may want it to be. It's not as much about Fred Hampton as I want it to be. Here's the thing. Y'all really think Hollywood's gonna make a movie? Allow them to make a movie about Fred Hampton and it be all about Fred Hampton's story? That's what you think, Johnson? People have been trying to tell the Fred Hampton story for a couple decades. And the only way they could get it done is to kind of tell it in a very slick way without jeopardizing Fred Hampton's legacy, but not make it all the focus be on Fred Hampton. Get what I'm saying? Like, if you watch the interviews with Shaka King, the director of the movie, he says exactly that. Hey, we had to find a way to do the story in Hollywood where we could actually get the movie done. And the only way we could get it done is this way. And if it wasn't for the success of Black Panther, we wouldn't even have this movie in this form. So the people that are complaining have a right to complain, but they're expecting more than this Warner Brothers, more than what would be possible. Which you should understand, because part of the reason why we can't have a Fred Hampton movie be 100% about Fred Hampton and the rise and fall of Fred Hampton. First of all, a lot of people ain't gonna go see that shit. You ought to know that, right? I had four amazing black women on this show last week. Probably four of the most amazing black women who should have won awards, most amazing black women of 2020 on my show, and it got shared, I don't know, maybe 50 times, I don't know. A very small number of times, and the viewership was very low. Because nobody cared that I had intelligent black women on the show. And YouTube looked at the algorithm and said, oh man, your views are down. Your subscribers, they kept sending me notes. Your subscribers show no interest in your video. And it was for black women. So the fact of the matter is, guys, we live in America. America is a microcosm of YouTube. That's what it is. Macro, micro. And they don't care about black issues like you and I care about black issues. They don't care about Fred Hampton like you and I care about Fred Hampton. Now, not saying all white people don't care. Some white people do care. Some white people are concerned. Some white people do want to be educated. Some white people already know more about it than I do. Because there's all types of people, right? But by and large, America's not a country that walks around going, what do black people think? So let's get it right. So you're right to say, hey, man, I'm disappointed that this movie didn't give me everything I wanted to know about Fred Hampton. But you know what I believe? I believe this movie gave you enough that if you didn't know who Fred Hampton was, you want to go find out more about him. And let's be honest. If you really want to know the life of any person, you're going to need more than an hour and 30 minutes or an hour and 45 minutes. You're going to need like a miniseries at least. You're going to need like a 6-part miniseries to really get into the life of an individual. And even if you did that, there'd be people going, hey, we didn't get enough. Hey, this is not deep enough. Why didn't they go into this? Why didn't they go into that? Because that's the nature of it. That's the nature of who we are. So I thought it was an excellent movie for what it was trying to do, which was whet the appetite, give you some information about Fred Hampton. But more importantly, I like the fact it didn't shy away from who killed Fred Hampton and the manner in which he was killed. Do you understand? They showed that the federal government, the FBI, plotted the demise, set up the demise, and murdered Fred Hampton. You don't think that's huge? You don't think it's huge for a major movie production company to put out a movie making the federal government look horrible? I think that's big, guys. I think that's important. So I thought it was a great movie. I learned some things I didn't know, other things I knew more about. And look, and afterwards, the movie was so good, I went and watched some interviews with Shaka King and Lakeith Stansfield and Daniel Kaluuya, and I learned more about the story. I learned that William O'Neill went on to continue to work with the FBI. And he continued to do very dastardly things, horrible, obscene things, and hurt a lot of good people. And the whole time he did it, he was employed by the federal government. I think it's important for people to realize that the federal government uses these types of tricks, that the FBI does these things. They infiltrate movements and they sabotage them. People always going, why can't we work together? Why can't we work together? I don't know why you keep saying that. According to the FBI, we work together too well. You're just repeating what you heard white supremacists say. And according to the FBI, poor black people and poor white people, black people, and Puerto Ricans, brown people work together too well. So well, they had to kill some people. Yeah, they had to break it up because we worked together too well. It's the opposite. But you have in your mind, this is called trickery, Johnson. You believe the most negative things about yourselves, and the government is believing the opposite. The government says, hey, we got too many charismatic leaders. We got too many people that are willing to speak truth to power. We got too much of that going on. We got to stop it now. We undervalue who we are. We undervalue the impact that we have. People undervalue the impact of this show. This show reaches millions of people. Millions of people watch this show, have watched this show. You undervalue your voice. You could be sitting in the bathroom somewhere in, I don't know where you live at. Let's say you're in Chicago, Illinois. And when you call up on this show, it goes to 4 platforms. And thousands of people get to hear your voice. That's not a small thing. It's not a small thing. Back to this movie. I highly recommend this movie to anyone who wants to learn more about Fred Hampton, about COINTELPRO, about how far our federal government has gone to silence empowering movements, to break up empowerment movements, to cut us down, to stop us from banding together. And that in itself can inspire many people, man. It's inspired me, and I'm an old dog. I'm an OG, Johnson. And I'm still inspired by this movie. So if you're not inspired by this movie, I'm wondering why. But hey, I guess everything's not for everyone. It's not a perfect movie. There are no perfect movies, Johnson. They don't exist. But I think it's an excellent movie that whets one's appetites significantly enough, sufficiently, that people want to seek out more information. Go find out more about Fred Hampton. Go find out more about the Black Panther Party and dispel some myths about the Black Panther Party as if it was the opposite of the Ku Klux Klan. It dispels those myths. That was accomplished. And look, to me, I think people just expect too much. For me, the fact that it shows and it proves to people, it beats back the myth that the Black Panther Party was the other shoe of the Ku Klux Klan, like it was equal to the Ku Klux Klan. I think that's enough. Like, just that is enough, Johnson. And how the government was intentionally killing black leaders, which we already knew, but they showed it a different way. And the last thing before I get off this movie, I gotta say this. This movie is not about William O'Neill. It's not about him. It's not about snitches. It's not about what one man did to betray Fred Hampton. I know the title says that. Here's the deal, guys. It's about a federal agency, the FBI, that coerced a man to betray Fred Hampton. He didn't know who Fred Hampton was. He's like many other black men entering the criminal justice system, and they say, hey, you want to help yourself here, buddy? Do you want to help yourself? Hey, I need you to do something for me. And it starts slowly, and at first it got you just, hey, just check out this guy, see what he's talking about, and report back. And then it slowly escalates and escalates. So I thought that was masterfully portrayed, and I think a lot of people are missing the point of that. It's not about one person. If anything, it's about the FBI, to me, and how the lengths that they will go to stop us from working together. So there it is, Johnson. So go check that movie out, guys. Check that out, please. And since we're on movies, let me just throw these two back to back. Just put them together. Dave Chappelle. Man, that brother's been having a hell of a run, hasn't it? Gosh, man. I need to go away for a decade and come back. Maybe then when I come back, I'll be successful. Yeah, man, that's what it is, man. I'm overseeing my welcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are getting ear fatigue. It's too much Tim Black. They need less Tim Black. That makes your stock go up. Dave Chappelle's been killing. He's been on a roll. Ever since he came back into the limelight, man, this guy, everything he touches is gold. At least that's how it looks. Okay, so I think it was Friday. Dave Chappelle put out this very short clip. It's called Redemption Song. And most of it's about how Comedy Central finally did right by Dave Chappelle and gave Dave Chappelle back his name. He gets his show back. And he can now put out a Dave Chappelle show if he wants to, because now he owns the right to his own name. So sort of like what Prince was trying to do, right? So that happened. But the other part of the Dave Chappelle Redemption Song clip is being discussed here by Don Lemon on CNN. Now, I'm hoping this clip that I got from CNN, where they play a little bit of Dave Chappelle, since it was fine for CNN to play, I'm wondering if YouTube will allow me to play it. I got a feeling they won't, Johnson. But I'm going to take a shot. Because this was played by CNN. Will they allow Tim Black to play the same clip that CNN played without threatening to shut us down, Johnson? Let's find out. What the hell? Let's risk it.
Leave it to Dave Chappelle to spotlight the hypocrisy of Trump supporters who stormed the Capitol. In a new stand-up routine, Chappelle points out that many of the Trump supporters who took part in the insurrection on January 6th are the very same people who criticized former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick for taking a knee during the national anthem as he silently and nonviolently protested the treatment of black Americans by police officers.
Watch the tapes. Watch that crowd that told Colin Kaepernick he can't kneel during a football game, try to beat a police officer to death with an American flag. Look at that. That's what white people did. They felt what black people have been feeling for 400 years. For 30 minutes, stormed the Capitol and rubbed their on the walls. They carried a Confederate flag through the rotunda. The Confederate Army didn't even do that, mother. You went very far. It was a simple question. Do you have a country or not? And you said no. My God, man, we're in quite the pickle, aren't we?
My colleague Don Lemon joins me now to talk about this. You know, I just wonder, obviously we see a double standard that is played out here. I just wonder how you've been struck by what Dave Chappelle said, Don.
Hi, Brianna. I agree with Dave Chappelle, and then I actually don't agree with him in a sense, but mostly I do. Here's why. Because he said in, in the stand-up routine that they got the N-word treatment, right? I don't think that they did, because they weren't lynched. They were able to leave Washington, D.C. and go back to their prospective places of where they lived, and got to turn themselves in if they even dared, if they even decided to, whenever they wanted. And they got to live where they wanted. They didn't get redlined. They got to get loans if they want. So I understand what he is saying. So yes, overall, I do agree with him. But for 30 minutes, they, tried to storm the Capitol and police beat them back. What they got was the consequences of breaking and entering. But his whole point about the flag and Colin Kaepernick is spot on, because they used, as we have been pointing out, the American flag and Blue Lives Matter flags and flagpoles and Confederate battle flags to beat police officers, to try to kill police officers. So, that's where we are right now. So in a sense, his overall point, I get it, but they didn't really get the treatment that African Americans have had in this country.
Okay. I hope things worked out there. You guys were able to hear that. I hope so. And I hope we're still streaming on YouTube, because these people they get pissed off, man. They don't want me playing anything, Johnson. Hope we're okay. Okay, first of all, guys, if you want to watch the Judas and the Black Messiah movie, it's on HBO Max. Okay, my bad. HBO Max. It's not on Netflix. It's on HBO Max. Now, the Dave Chappelle clip, that's on YouTube, and it's also on Netflix. Okay. So now, back to Dave Chappelle. Wow. Dave is a bold brother, man. Dave is a bold brother. Dave Chappelle speaks his truth to power, man. He just puts it out there. And I'm very happy. I'm very fortunate. I feel blessed that I live in a time where there's a Dave Chappelle that's doing this, because I try to do the same thing. And he inspires me when he speaks his truth to power, when he just says, screw him, and just says it, because that's the beauty of not having a boss, right? That's the beauty of his boss or his viewers. That's the way I look at it, in a way. In a way, because I talk about so much politics that I can't let you be my boss, because people want me to be like bash Trump. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And then if you were my boss, some of you would be like, no, you need to keep bashing him. And then there's times I go and bash Biden, and people are like, no, you must be a Trump supporter. So I say you're my boss, but I don't mean it. Because if you were my boss, you would try to change what I do too much. You know what I'm saying? and then I would be inauthentic. So Dave Chappelle, he points out a good point, though, that these insurrectionist people, these people that stormed the Capitol, did these things, these horrible things, right? Here goes something, though. Some of the people that stormed the Capitol were complete idiots, and they were just playing games. You know, like the guy in Nancy's office with his feet kicked up, laughing his ass off? That guy wasn't trying to overthrow the government. No, it was more like a prank. You know what I'm saying? Some of these, like, some of these people weren't really, they're different people. Like, everybody's not the same. Now, I don't know why you show up with zip ties. Lock that dude up, okay? Like, come on, guys. Let's have the ability to be a little bit more thoughtful and not just accept whatever people are saying. I'm not saying they shouldn't be punished for what they did, but let's not act like everybody did everything the same. Everyone's not the same, Johnson. All right? I'm not saying they should be let off scot-free, but not everybody was going there to kill AOC. Not everybody wanted to kill Mitt Romney or Mitch McConnell. Some people just wanted to smear their feces on the walls. So, look, I understand where Dave Chappelle's coming from, and once again, I ain't got to agree with everything. I agree with a lot of it. I think it's masterfully done. I think he's one of the greatest orators, one of the greatest orators of our time. Dave Chappelle, a comedian, a guy who tells jokes for a living. He's a great storyteller. But I don't want to oversell January 6th. Yeah, I don't want to oversell it. There are more horrible things happening every day. The fact we got a government that don't want to give us health care. The fact that we had a government dragging its feet on COVID-19. Like, we got other issues that are just as horrific, that aren't crystallized into one day that we can all just point at. Get where I'm going with that? Like, people are able to look at January 6th and say, look at that. That's disgusting. That's horrible. Yeah, okay, well, I don't know the day when Biden said, even if we get Medicare for all through the House and the Senate, he would veto it. I don't know what that day was, but to me, that's just as awful a day as this day, January 6th, was. In fact, it's more awful because more lives will be lost by not having Medicare for all or universal health care for every American available. And for a leader of the country to be so dead set against everyone having coverage, regardless of where they work at or if they don't work, regardless of pre-existing conditions or not, to have a president say, even if the will of the people wants this, I'm going to override it because my name is Joe Biden. And that's a horrible, disgusting thing. And that's why when I say that Dave Chappelle speaks truth to power, he does. But his power is only limited. He's also limited as well, because it is a machine he goes up against. And he doesn't want to, like, why couldn't he say that? He has to have people in his family who needed health care before. Maybe he said it before. Maybe he said it. But he can't say everything. That's what I'm saying. Some people will never be happy. They want you to say everything. There are people saying, Tim, you're not saying this right now. But see, I'm not you. I didn't have that thought. It doesn't mean I don't agree. I just didn't have the same thought to say it. Doesn't mean I don't agree with you. And I'm not suggesting Dave Chappelle doesn't agree with me. What I'm saying is, I don't want to hear, look, I'm tired of hearing about the insurrection. Tired of it, man. Yeah, man, it's February, what's the day? 17th. I'm tired of hearing about that one day. Okay? If you got a parent that just died, or a child that's sick, or you wonder where your next meal is going to come from, or where you're going to live at, you ain't sitting around worried about January 6th. Now, yes, the people that killed that police officer, they should pay for that. There are things done that day where somebody's got to pay for that. Somebody should pay for it. Fine. Just get it off my damn TV so much. Get what I'm saying? I don't want to keep saying it. And see, that's how you know. Look, guys, that's how you know who controls your media. Because that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer for the people. If you're wondering, if you're sitting around talking about January 6th, that's got to mean you ain't got a lot of other problems in your life, Johnson. Nope. You can't have a lot of other problems in your life. I'm not saying it wasn't wrong. I'm not saying people shouldn't be held accountable. But what I'm saying is, it's a month later. You're still talking about that one day those people did that dumb shit or that horrible thing or that bad thing. When there are bad things and horrible things going on every day. And the only reason why you're still talking about it is they want you to still talk about it. The reason why it's in the front of your brain is because they want it in the front of your brain. Because there are a lot of things will get you just as upset. I'm going to cover a couple of them tonight. And they won't be living in infamy. The date won't be living in infamy. Get what I'm saying? But it's just as important. So, Don Lemon, Don Lemon said, hey, Dave got this one part wrong. I disagree with him about the N-word moment or whatever the hell. I think Don Lemon's getting, well, the way I interpret it, Dave's point there was that I think there are white guys and white women who see America totally different than we see America as black folks. Martin Lawrence said it. Martin Lawrence said this, guys, and this is the difference, guys. And I don't mean the goofy way where, white people do this, ho, 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 and black people do this, ha, 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 ha. I don't mean those corny white-black differences they like to stereotype. Even though that is kind of true. You ever been to a black movie theater? But listen, here. White people can get loud in the movies too. I'm sorry, guys. I'm all over the place. Here it goes. Here's the thing. White people think America's theirs. And black people know it's not theirs. So white people get mad pretty quickly when other white people tell them what to do. So, hey man, that's it. Don Lemon. The N-word or the N-word moment where they was white people being told, Trump ain't your president no more. He ain't the president no more. And he lost. And that's them being treated like N-words because they're not getting what they want, Johnson. It's sort of like the million white women who went ballistic when they couldn't get Hillary. We never get who we want. We're used to not getting who we want. And we got Obama, but then we got him and we didn't want him. No one points out that people didn't come out in 2012 and try to make it our fault we didn't come out in 2012 for Obama. Or 2010. We were disheartened. We lost the lux. We lost the Jedi mind trick stopped working because the real Obama started to surface. The point is this, man. White people who believe this is their country, who don't take no stuff, they don't like that. They got pissed off. So that's what it is. And I know Dave Chappelle will put that in a better way than I could ever put it. I'm working on it. Hopefully I'll get better at this in a way that, but I think you get it. And I think white people know white people like this. They know that's why white people that's why they get the way they get, man. That's why they get pissed off, man. It's their country, man. And it is their country. It was made for them. We were 3/5 of a human being. It wasn't made for us. We were like furniture. You were like a pencil. Should be used by white people. That's what you were. Hey, that's what I was too. My father's 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 father. You know? So I'm sorry, Johnson. It's what it is. Now, it's a rude awakening when those white people start waking up and realizing, that's right, your schools suck. Your rights are getting taken away. You can't choose this guy even though he's the guy you want. And the Republican Party sucks too. That's what they're realizing. They're like, damn, the Republican Party really sucks. That's new for them. There are white people just waking up and realizing how horrible Mitch McConnell is. You know, there are. There are some who already knew it, but I'm saying. All right, that's enough. Because I could go on that for much longer, and people probably won't watch the video anyway. You know, it is what it is. And people, they want to hear about Trump. They don't want to hear about this. It's all based on my opinion, man. But my opinion of being online for a decade, doing this show and being around a lot of white people, black people, Latino Americans, Asian Americans, Native Americans. And the white folks are the only folks that treat America like it's theirs. Okay. But Tim, we're all American citizens. Yeah, I know. That's what they say. Okay, next two stories. God, I really don't want to do the Biden town hall, man. Joe Biden held a town hall, was on CNN, your favorite program, and he said a whole lot of nothing. Are you surprised? Isn't that what he does, though, say a whole lot of nothing? Take a whole lot of time to say nothing that's really interesting. He talked about COVID-19. I'm not going to play the clips, man. I'm just not going to do it, Johnson. Look, here's the deal, guys. If you thought that you had a president in Joe Biden that thought for himself, you'd be wrong. And if you needed a better indication that being a president is just a figurehead, just look at Joe Biden. You can ask Joe Biden a question. He don't answer the question. He comes up with an anecdote. The anecdote is something else that has nothing to do with the question that you asked. And he talks. He throws word salad at you for 45 seconds. Then he tries to use some old cliches to make him seem like he really cares about you. Oh, yeah. Come on, man. There's nothing we can't do. Nothing we can't ever do. Yeah, it's us. It's us, man. Come on, man. We're Americans. We're Americans. I know that means nothing. It's just a word, but we are that. That's what we are, man. Come on. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on, stop playing. Let's get it in there. Let's do it. Oh, God, we got to do it. It's us. We're always going to get together. You know, and it's like, it means nothing. They asked him about white supremacy, and he gave some long, convoluted question or answer. Something about his Justice Department stamping out white supremacy in police forces around the country. He didn't say how. He didn't say how it was going to be done. He didn't say when it was going to be done. He didn't say where it was going to be done. He just said stuff. Nothing you can hold him down on. Nothing you can pin him down on. Nothing you can hold him responsible for. That's it. It was sort of sounded like make America great again. Just a buzzword that uses whatever's in your mind. Whatever you wrongly believe or whatever you stupidly believe can be done or will be done. It uses that. Your fantasies. Yeah. So, I was going to play Joe Biden, but in the interest of time, I don't think it's necessary. Hey, look, guys. It is what it is. He is who he is. There are going to be some things he's going to do a better job at, and there will be things he does a worse job at. And our job is to continue to push and try to create movements around issues that we care about. That's all we can do. And hope he gets lost in the mall and is unable to create more and more hardships and obstacles for our movements. Because that's what he's there to do. He's not there to empower our movements. He doesn't believe what we believe. In fact, I don't know if he believes anything other than he wants to do well and leave his family a bunch of money. Like, I really don't know if Joe Biden believes in anything other than that. And who his bosses are. He's sure of who his bosses are and who writes the checks for his party. Those are things, the only things I'm sure about Joe Biden are those things. Nothing else. So all this other stuff, oh man, these people just want to keep their jobs, Johnson. They want to keep their jobs. They want to build on their careers. They don't want to say anything negative. That's right. And they don't want the problems. Because going against Joe Biden will bring problems to your doorstep. It may not be the COINTELPRO type, but it'll definitely be the kind that stops career opportunities. So there it is. What else? Before we go to phone calls. Oh, the NAACP is suing Trump and Giuliani after the January 6th riots. Do I have this? I might have it. Let's take a look. Let's see if I have it.
Leave it.
Well, I don't have it, Johnson. But that's okay. It was just a news clipping.
To Dave Chappelle to spotlight the...
Get out of here. It was just a news clipping. So let me tell you like this. The NAACP is suing Trump and Giuliani, Tim Black. I know I said Gould for a reason. So we know Donald Trump got acquitted. Well, the NAACP doesn't care that he got acquitted. Because it wasn't about the acquittal of Donald Trump. It's about him being innocent or not being innocent. It's about the political will of the Senate. And the political will of the Senate did not want to punish Donald Trump. But the NAACP can file a lawsuit, and they did. Okay, so the NAACP, Mississippi Rep. Benny Thompson, the civil rights law firm Cohen, Milson, Sellers, and Toll filed a lawsuit against the former president. Rudy Giuliani and two white supremacist groups citing their role in the January 6th insurrection. The lawsuit was filed today in federal district court for the District of Columbia, alleges that Trump and Giuliani, in collaboration with the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, conspired to incite the riot to keep Congress from certifying the results of the 2020 presidential election. It claims they did so in violation of the Ku Klux Klan Act, a Reconstruction-era statute designed to protect both formerly released or enslaved African Americans and lawmakers in Congress from white supremacist violence. Representative Hank Johnson and Bonnie Watson Coleman will join the litigation as plaintiffs in the coming days. Now, this is all listed on a Politico website. You can go there and check it out yourself. The lawsuit recounts Trump's actions leading up to the January 6th riot, building a case against him in similar fashion to the House impeachment managers. It cites Trump's remarks during Save America, a rally as evidence that he mobilized and directed insurrectionists to storm the Capitol. After his supporters entered the halls of Congress, the lawsuit alleges Giuliani called lawmakers individually, asking them to try to slow down the Electoral College vote count. Wow. The party's decision to file litigation after the impeachment trial is in large part a response to the Senate's acquittal of the former president. So far, no other civil rights groups have pursued litigation against Trump. Filing suit now, Thompson said the NAACP argue will help prevent a second insurrection. So there you go, Johnson. That's the So what do we think about that? Please put in the comment section below what you think about this. Do you think that Donald Trump should be held accountable? Should he be sued for this? Like, I've been on the record here, guys. I'm not here to defend Donald Trump's actions. I won't do it. I didn't vote for him. I won't defend him. Should he be held accountable? If you can prove in a court of law that he's accountable, yeah, hold him accountable. I think that Donald Trump could have at any minute could have stopped those folks. He could have done it a lot sooner. If it was a total accident that these people got all riled up and went to the Capitol, he could have stopped them right away. He waited and waited and waited to tell people to go home. And when he finally did tell them to go home, they went home. How can you say that they weren't listening to Trump when they went in if they left out as soon as he said leave out? And remember, a civil lawsuit, it's a less of a burden of proof on behalf of the plaintiffs. So we shall see, Johnson. We shall see. Okay, so two things, real quick things. Remember people used to say that the LAPD was racist and how horrible the LAPD was? Remember those days? Rodney King days? Okay. Here goes proof they were right. LAPD Police Union outraged by the report of Floyd Valentine. Now, Tim Black, what's a Floyd Valentine, Tim Black? What the hell is that? Well, there's a Valentine floating around the LAPD. It's like a card, and it's got a picture of George Floyd with the words, "You take my breath away." Now, we all know George Floyd was murdered by former police officer Derek Chauvin, Minneapolis. And we know he killed that man. Kept his knee on the man's neck for almost 9 minutes. And to the LAPD, or these members of the LAPD, that's funny. Yeah, it's kind of weird, though, because we got these morons saying, hey, Derek Chauvin didn't kill George Floyd. George Floyd had drugs in his system. Not according to these cops. That's not what killed him. His breath was taken away by Derek Chauvin. That's what these cops believe. Or maybe the card would have been something about an OD, right? It would have been like OD. But no, on the card that they were circulating, it's, you take my breath away. Not even remotely denying the fact that Derek Chauvin basically smothered the life out of George Floyd. I think a lot of people have conditions that if somebody was cutting off your air supply for a couple minutes, you might pass away too. And yeah, you may have the gout. You may have a bum leg, a bad spleen, or any other situation, or some weed in your system. But that doesn't mean that's what killed you, Johnson. When George Floyd had died, if Derek Chauvin didn't have his knee on his neck, I think that's the question. But bigger than that, man, everything you thought about the LAPD, every bad thing you thought about them, you were right. They are horrible, horrible. They should not be policemen, but they are. And if you think that the LAPD is the only police force that's bigoted, doesn't care about you, grotesque, murderous, menace to society, then you are an idiot. Don't go around thinking that the only law enforcement that would do this is the LAPD. That's a big mistake. That's right up there with believing the only bad people in the world are insurrectionists, or the only bad people in the world were in the U.S. Capitol. No, there's a lot of bad people in the country, I should say. It's a lot of bad people all over the country, or they're just in one party, or they just voted for one person. No. There's a lot of God don't like ugly, and unfortunately, there's a lot of God awful ugly in this country. So, the Los Angeles police chief, Michael Moore, said Saturday that investigators will try to determine how the image may have come into the workplace and who may have been involved. Moore said the officer who made the complaint would be interviewed on Monday. So an officer turned this in. Give it up for that officer. Interesting. That's good stuff. You know, I didn't know that. That's good. That's a good thing, right? I mean, you want a good officer to step up and point these bastards out, right? So whoever it was is gonna need our support, guys, because once you turn on the boys in blue, bad times, bad things happen to you. My last story before phone calls is, you know, whenever I cover these black issues, it's always some jackass going, "You're being divisive." No. You know who's being divisive? America. And bigots. Yeah, that's who's being divisive. Hey, man. Here goes a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So everybody looks at the shiny stuff. Look at the major things like George Floyd, and which was a horrible thing. Horrible, horrible thing that Derek Chauvin did to George Floyd. Horrible, horrible things, right? Get a lot of coverage. But just as horrible are what happens very quietly in this country every day. Every day, like this. Every day this happens. Home appraisal for black couple skyrockets after white friend pretends to be homeowner. Yeah. Every day, homeowners who are black are losing money because their appraisers are racist as hell. Yep. Listen to this. After an appraiser and the Austins, white woman pile met at their house, its value went up a whopping $493,000, Johnson. Okay, so black Americans continue to face discrimination when it comes to building wealth through their home ownership. One Bay Area couple was speaking out about the challenges with their home in an area where it is tough for black residents to start the process of obtaining property. Paul Austin and his wife, Tanisha Tate Austin, of Marin City, purchased their first home off market from another black family in 2016. After moving in, they made $400,000 in renovations to the house. It was built, this is an older house built in the 60s. The couple reportedly added another 1,000 square feet space with an entire floor. They did major renovations to this house. They also built a deck, put in new floors, a fireplace, and added new appliances. However, once they had the home appraised, they believe it was undervalued due to their race. Tate says, I read the appraisal, I looked at the numbers, and I was like, this is unbelievable. Believe it, Tate. You are a black woman. The appraiser was an older white woman who reportedly used coded language like, Marion City is a distinct area. The home appraised for $989,000, which the Austins claim is $100,000 more than what they had it appraised for prior to the hundreds of thousands in major renovation they made. So, here's the deal, guys. They put in $400,000 worth of work into the house. And the house was worth, before they did that, the house was worth almost $900,000. No. Yeah. $900,000. After they put $400,000 worth of work in the house, additional work, they told them it was worth only $89,000 more. But they put in $400,000 worth of work. So, of renovations, upgrades. So they said, this ain't right. How are we going to put in $400,000 worth of work to better the home and you only give us credit for $100,000 worth of that work? That's when they went to a next door neighbor, a white neighbor, and said, hey, we think the appraisers are lying bastard. Could you do us a favor and UBS? So they went and got pictures from their white friend, put them all over the home, and left their white friend with the keys. And the white friend, a real friend, a true ally, pretended that she was the homeowner. So when the appraiser came by, instead of seeing their black asses, they saw this nice white lady. Yeah, they saw a nice white lady in this beautiful home with white pictures on the walls. And they said, all of a sudden, the appraisal amount went up. Yeah. After the appraisal, after the appraiser and the Austin's white woman co-conspirator had their meet-up moment at the house, the value of the home increased by nearly 50%. According to the report, it was then appraised for $1.4 million, almost $1.5 million, a whopping $493,000 more. You got it, folks. So basically what happened here was, all of a sudden, when the appraiser thought there was white people who occupied the home, the house went up almost $500,000 in value. Only thing changed was the color of the people who they thought owned the home. That's it. Nothing else changed, Johnson. That's it. There are implications to our ability to create generational wealth or passing things on if our house is appraised for 50% less than their value, said Tate Austin. Here we go. Experts don't disagree. We know discrimination is in nearly every aspect of the home buying process, says Jessica Lotz from the National Association of Realtors. We need to be addressing it as an industry. According to real estate brokerage firm Redfin, only 44% of Black Americans owned their home in 2020, compared to 74% of white Americans. So anyway, as I was pointing out, there's a lot of injustices that occur in this country. A lot of horrible things go down quietly, very quietly, every day. And this is a horrible story. It's a true story. It's what's happening. And if the Tate family, Lustons, if they hadn't had a white friend, if the Austins didn't have a white friend that was willing to sit in for them, then they wouldn't even, then they wouldn't got the right amount on their home. Then they would have been left all this money on the table. But the problem is there aren't enough white allies to go around. Aren't enough good white people. We don't know enough good white people to help us out, man, to stand in for us, to talk to the cops, or to talk to the realtors, or to pretend to be us. You know how well I'd be doing if some of you could pretend to run this YouTube channel? Yo, man, if I had a white guy that could, pretend to be me, wow. I know I get treated a lot better. I know that shit. Yeah, man. But it is what it is. Yeah, I'd probably be a lot more successful. A lot more successful if I just had that white skin, man. God. People are like, oh, Tim's, he doesn't know enough about the subject matter. He doesn't get it. Yeah, really? Most people are just reading articles. You know that, right? Most people are kind of like reading this stuff. They're not creating the news. They're reporting the news. Maybe you think that Black people don't know enough, just generally speaking. I don't know. Just a thought, Johnson. There's implicit bias and there's explicit. Some people have implicit biases. They don't even know they have them. You can have implicit bias and be totally unaware, not intentional, just built in because you live in America. You watch TV. You've been influenced by your environment. It is what it is. You put some water in the freezer, it will freeze. Because it's in a freezer. And some people, I gotta imagine, you put them in a racist society, they're gonna become racist. They might not choose, the ice water didn't choose to freeze. So anyway, it is what it is, Johnson. We'll see what happens. Wow. I don't know if I'll give you an update on that story because there is no update. That's going to keep happening, Johnson. Either realtors, they have to stop hiring racist realtors, or I don't know. I don't know how you fix that. How you fix it? So I can't update you because there's no way to stop racists from having jobs that hurt black people. And there are black people to do the same thing, Fred Hampton comes to mind. Or William O'Neill comes to mind. All right, guys, that's it. We're going to go to phone calls and I'll come back. Remember, this show is brought to you by you. It's not the DNC, the GOP, the RNC, or any other organization. This show is brought to you by viewers like yourself. Become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack by going to patreon.com. Tim's Take Live. Do it now. And we'll be right back in like 90 seconds. Wolfpack.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. That keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe. We are back. Let's get it going. First phone call in the queue was 206 number. 206, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh my God, Tim Black, 206. My comment is I am one of America. I really love your show. You're my favorite. probably of all the YouTube people I've ever met. And I really, I'm a white dude, obviously, and I'm a trans person. So my main question, I wrote it down. I said, how can we teach empathy to someone who has been indoctrinated to the Q conspiracy? Wow. Because these people, mainly white people, they really have no empathy for anybody. They feel like I made it and I have my own situation covered. And I have no empathy for anybody who doesn't have their own situation covered because I covered my own. And that question, it drives me crazy because these are my best friends. These are people who I've known for like years and years. And I can't get through to them because they're just so far gone, they're so far gone into this idea that, and I love them, but at the same time, like I can't jive with any of their opinions. And, I'm so on board with all of your opinions, man. So anyways, that's my main question was just that. And I'm a big fan of your friend Kamaldi Rose, but that's all I had to say, my friend.
Hey, man. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate you for calling up, man. Give it up for the caller, man. This is a good way to start it off, man. It's a hard question. All I can tell you, brother, is we have a motto on this show, right? And it's something we started like 2015. It's called Sprinkle Some Facts on Them. And that means you don't argue with them because you're not gonna convince them of anything, Johnson. In fact, the more you try to convince a person who believes a certain thing, the more they're gonna dig in their heels and hold on to that belief because now it becomes a competition. So the last thing you want to do is compete with them. Stupidity usually wins because stupidity is strong. And they got their ego wrapped into whatever they believe. And for them to all of a sudden change that, to them, that would be selling out. And I know we're talking about information, but it's weird how people self-identify with the information that they believe. So what I would do is I would tell them something that contradicts what they believe, but I would give them some information. I would say, okay, so I would talk to them about all the people, for instance. Let's talk about white people. I wouldn't even get them going with white people yet. If I knew it was a person who had a bias against black people, I wouldn't even start off with black people because they don't care about black people. I would probably start off with white people and I would say, hey, America locks up more white people than any other westernized nation in the world. I wonder why it is we lock up more white people than any other country who locks up white people. Now, you and I know it locks up more black people too, but we don't even need to start there. Start with the white people stuff. Yeah, start there. Start with mass incarceration from a white perspective. Yeah, a lot of black people don't think about the fact that America sets records locking up white people too. And have them look it up. Have them look it up, what that's all about. It was always about money. It's always about extracting money from the people and putting it into their pockets. That's what it's always been about. So that might be a good place to start. But I would say just start with trying to make them understand how racist they are or how bigoted they are. Probably not the way to go. Yeah, you gotta go another place and maybe get them to warm up to the fact that they're being taken advantage of. Because they think they've made it. Oh man, you really would have made it. Oh, just imagine if you didn't have such a corrupt government. Yeah, man. That was taxing the hell out of poor people and letting corporations get away with everything. Yeah, maybe you should start there, Johnson, because you're doing well, man. You worked your ass off. Gosh, man. Just imagine if you didn't have to pay taxes like Jeff Bezos. Yeah, then you'd really be doing well. All right, man, take it easy. I'll talk to you later. Let them know they're not doing as well as they think they are. Let them know that. Let them know they're working harder for less. That Americans are more productive than they've ever been. Because usually people that believe what you're saying, they also think that most Americans are slackers. Now, we actually, our incomes haven't kept up with inflation, and we're working harder than we've ever worked. And we're more productive than we've ever been. We just don't get compensated fairly for it. That's all. That's the problem. But I'm going to go next call. Next call is a 617 number. Hey, 617, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim Black.
What's up?
Tim Black, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up, my brother?
All right. Hold on. Let me 1 second. Getting myself together here. Good to hear from you, man. How are you doing this evening, Tim Black?
I'm good, man. You called me. What's up with you?
I saw your interview with Neera Turner last week. I was very impressed. I'm glad that she came on your show, and I hope that she, when she gets elected, because we all know she's getting elected from the 11th district, I hope that she continues to come on your show and give you praise like she did before. I thought that was great.
Yeah, she's great, man. She's Neera Turner's something special, brother.
And
yeah.
I would like, and this is a suggestion. I know it's tough in these times, but we should do a feature spotlight on her district. That 11th district has a unique history, has a unique, it's very special in Ohio in terms of electorate district. That would be good if you kind of feature it and feature her. That would be, it's got the highest, the 11th district has the highest, illiteracy rate in the state. I think it's the second poorest district in the whole country. Third poorest. It's so there's a lot of these specific interests and things that are related to that 11th district. But that's not why I called, Tim. That's not why I called. I just was calling. I've been in the funk, Tim. I've been in the funk lately, man. I've been since Biden got elected and the insurrection, it's been, it's been a blue mood for me. Just trying to figure out, how I fit in and where things are. I can't watch mainstream news anymore. I can't, there's only a few outlets. Jimmy Dore let me down. It's tough to really just, YouTube is an echo chamber at this point. It's, you're one of the only voices that have been true. I have to be honest about you. It's been tough to kind of find a home for myself, to be honest with you. But I have to say also, I think the biggest thing right now, what I'm seeing is from people on the left, and I think your previous caller spoke to it, and I think that was a great call. I think he does, I think he had a great point and such. But, I think the problem I'm seeing is that a lot of people on the left are trying to redeem these righties. They're trying to do all they can to redeem the right. They're not bad people. They're just, they need health care too. And, I think we need to be careful on the left to try to humanize these far-right folks and try to humanize these Nazis and these boogaloo folks. I think that's a dangerous thing. And you spoke to that in one of your videos. I think for the left, particularly people on, black folk on the left, it's, we can't allow ourselves to be part of that redemption mission. And I think it's something that, their interests aren't our interests, and it's clear. And so, I think it's something that we need to keep separate from our mission as lefties, however defined, particularly black left, because, they're a lot of snakes, a lot of conflicting interests, a lot of people who say one thing and believe another, a lot of these libertarians who's out here waving yellow flags and ain't really representing, our neighborhoods, our folks, our schools, our interests, So I just, I'm looking at Facebook. I'm on Facebook a lot, I'm always sort of going at it with people on there, and that seems to be what a lot of the people on the left are really trying. They seem like they're somehow that that part of being, building a coalition, a broad working class coalition, is to invite the right and to welcome the right. And I think that's something that is very dangerous, and it's like an infiltration. You was talking about the Fred Hampton film. I haven't seen it. I don't like those kind of films. I really don't get into that kind of stuff. But the film, you made this film sound good. All my friends are watching it and such. I'm like the only dude in the world that ain't seen Black Panther yet. I'm the only black dude that ain't seen Black Panther yet. I'm that guy. I'm that guy, Tim. But my point is this: that bringing up Fred Hampton and a lot of what there was a lot of thought about that and his organization about how to incorporate those on the right and that interest. And he, it was a losing mission. I mean, I felt as though he expressed that it was a losing mission, and that you have to be anti-racist before you can be left, and that comes first. And the working class coalition, the Maoism, he was a Maoist, and the Maoism is really about being, more tied to anti-poverty and clearing private ownership and clearing capitalist interests from the poor's interests. And that does have some crossover with being, with blackness and all that sort of thing. But it can be something that, people are sort of leaving out the anti-racism from the left part.
Yep.
And we can't do that. Like, that has to be a pillar. Being pro-worker, being anti-capitalist, being, and I think, Neera does a good job of building wealth. That has to be part of the pillar with being anti-racist and allowing these right interests in, no matter how well-meaning or how sort of deferential you may be to them as family and friends or as partners in some way. We gotta set the rules first. We gotta set the regulations first.
Yep.
Right? This is a. Go ahead.
No, you're good, man. I'll give you 30 more seconds, man, but I gotta go on, man. But I love what you're saying, brother. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Tim. Hey, you're good. And I'd like you to speak on that and kind of hear what your interests are on that, and keep the faith, brother.
You got it, man. Thank you for that phone call, man. I love this conversation. I love what this guy had to say, man. Brother, I know you've called several times, brother, but your name was escaping me, brother. But I know your voice, and I know you. And I want to let you know, man, I appreciate you putting this down, because one of the reasons, like yesterday was a holiday, brother. And so I wanted to spend some time with my family, clear my head. There's a lot going on behind the scenes here with the show, me and Mrs. Black, and what we're trying to do. And K Lovejoy, Black at Team Black PR on Twitter, guys. You can follow K Love there. So there's a whole lot we're trying to do. And the other side of it was, I was so caught up with the Fred Hampton movie, with the Judas movie, I didn't have the right spirit to come to the show. You know what I'm saying? Because I was going to be too upset with nonsense. And one of the things where people are trying to make the correlation between Fred Hampton and being willing to work with poor whites, the Patriots, or whatever this organization was, and Boogaloo Boys and all this stuff. I think it's pretty obvious that in order to build with someone, they have to have some things in common with you. I didn't take the Black Panthers to be an outreach organization like the Mormons. They weren't Jehovah's Witnesses going door to door trying to convert people, trying to convert racists into freedom fighters. That's not what was happening. What it is, I feel it is, we got a lot of white folks that just want to save other white folks. But they don't want to take their ass down to Alabama. They don't want to take their ass down to the Carolinas, to South Carolina, and save some poor black people who are being misled by well-to-do black people who are entrenched with the Democratic Party who have been misinforming them. But they rather go talk to people who want to overthrow the government and throw our asses back in Africa or some shit because they are white people and they relate to them. And they're just misinformed, but they're really good people just because they use the N-word and they join organizations that want to burn down the country. They're really good people, though, if you get to know them, and we can only talk to them and convince them. Look, guys, that ain't the game. The game is not going to people, trying to get them not to be. Look, I was in a religion like that. Being a leftist or being a person who wants change, radical change in this country, does not make you a part of a religious cult. Okay? That's not the same thing. That's not what... We don't need to expend that type of energy on people that don't. In my opinion, I think people need to agree with you on core tenets. Not just that government bad. No, we need more than that for solidarity. So if you think you can build a movement that's not rooted in anti-discrimination, or rooted in defending, getting rid of, and stamping out discrimination and bigotry and racism. If you don't, how could you start an organization, or how could you say you want to build a movement with people that don't agree with the basic tenets of what your ideology is? Let them have their movement. Let them have their organization. They're doing what they want to do. Why do you need those people? I never understood why you needed those people. I don't get that part. So I say we don't. And I say, don't be like the Republicans, well, don't be like the Democratic Party that are so busy focusing on trying to get Republican light voters into the Democratic Party. They do nothing but piss off the left and lose all of the left. Get what I'm saying? And that's what the risk is when you say, well, we're going to go get these radical white guys from militia groups because they want to legalize cannabis, but they care nothing about social safety nets. And we know why black people need social safety nets, right? Because we've been discriminated against so badly in this country since us being brought here. So if they don't support social safety nets for the most disenfranchised people who have been hurt by this government, then why would I want to work with them? It doesn't make any sense. Entitlements. So anyway, that's my point of view on it. Once again, Carl, I appreciate you bringing it up. I'm going to go to the next call. I appreciate you guys having your patience on the phone lines here. But let's be clear, man. I detest people that want to use Fred Hampton as an excuse to try to get their cousins to rock with their cousins. You want to rock with your cousin, rock with them. Go ahead and rock with your cousin. That's fine. That's your cousin. But don't expect me to rock with him. And don't try to devalue my reasoning for not wanting to rock with this guy. It may not matter to you that you use the N-word. It may not matter to you that they don't care about my community, but it matters to me. And at some point, we got to decide if you should be rocking with us. You, who want to rock with them. Get what I'm saying? All right. I'm going to go to the next call. It's a 352 number in the house. 352, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim 352. It's Gary down in Gainesville. Hanging in there with you, bro.
All right, Gary. What's going on, guy?
Smoking tonight. He's smoking tonight. Man, you hit so many things tonight. From Fred Hampton to Chappelle to the friggin' first of all, the third one's the charm for me. After that, I kind of lost track. When you went to the two women you interviewed this week, Dooley and friggin' Turner. First you did Neera, and then you did Virginia. Bro, you could go to heaven now. You should just put those two videos on a loop. All right? Just put them on a loop, sit back and tell the grandkids, look what Grandpa did. All right?
Yeah.
That's all you have to do now. I don't know how you're going to top that, right? And I'm not joking, But I mean, I was tired today. I was going through this, because sometimes, Tim, I can't watch it every single day, right? This is your life, this is your business, but I got a life too, so I'm trying to fit in, not trying to fit in. I fit in, all right? But I can't do it every day like you do, So if I miss a few days, I pick it up. I know Tuesday and Friday nights are the big night, so I try to at least get caught up to know what the topics are for those nights in case I get through. So the topic to me, Dooley, when you Neera Turner, and she was on fire with you during that interview. You guys clicked. It was perfect. You got her. It's not always it's too easy to do what you're doing as the interviewer either. A lot of times you got to let that person be themselves without asking stupid questions or talking over. And I think that's the key. Here we go, Tim. Okay, keep me in check, bro. Give me the wrap up and all that stuff. Here we go. What you do in the interview, and listen, there ain't no point. If I got criticism to talk to you about, when I meet you up at the bar in D.C. and I have a beer with you in person, I'll tell you you talk. But on the phone, there ain't no point in me because it's such little trivial shit anyway. So let me talk about the positive thing you do. When you do that interview with them, you listen. You don't interrupt. That's the one of the hardest things. And then I realized what made your show so special to me. It hit me like a friggin', they call it like a lightning bolt, epiphany or something. It's I don't know, it's always there. But I realized I can't remember too many talk shows from sports. That used to be my big thing. I used to call the sports guys all the time. I had bets on the games. I said I wanted to get the guys, Chris Thomas, you went down to Tampa, what he wanted to do on the games that week. So I used to call it a sports show. So I, not that unfamiliar with talking on the phone on the show. But this is different. I've never listened where I would want to call political. And I say you are really a political, more than that, a social commentary of our life. All right? You cover everything in the social get-go. Now, when you let these people get you riled up on the black and white thing, they don't get the fact that you have to have a voice for your, for the stuff that's happened. I mean, if any white man with a brain reads the history, he's going to be, Bernie Sanders didn't do what he did because he had to do it for money. He did it because it was the right thing. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are white that know what's right. But you know what? I live in a neighborhood with more brothers than of the tanner, that color. I hate the shit with the darker colors because they range from, there's no such thing even as black and white. When I go to the hardware store and I say, give me black, he's like, what shade? As I ask for white, what shade? So there's shades of every freaking white and black too. So we got to stop the bullshit. But we keep making that into the football game. Now you got me off track from the thing I want to talk about the most. Dooley and Turner. What beautiful freaking interviews. And you listen. I was tying the two things together, that what you do as a talk show host is that what you're doing now. You really never Garrett, maybe it was because it was the sports talk show host. We used to go back and forth. But I'd say, okay, well, what do you think about this? And then I go back to him and you go, what about this? With you, it's like I said what I had to say, and you got a chance right now to do something special. I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm going to let you talk. I don't know too many talk shows that let people talk like this. All right? That's one that I have to say that's hit me tonight. I said, what is it that I really like about it? I'm like, bro, he can sit there and listen to you. You know how many talk show hosts want to friggin' interject and they throw you off course? And you're like, listen, as long as you can keep a coherent message, and even if you can't, Tim's got a lot of patience to go there too. But mostly if you can, get to the point and make your point, he's going to listen. And that's very rare. That's unique. How you got the patience not to interject is amazing. But anyway, get to the point now. So there was amazing interviews because you listen and you talk and you're positive, and the feedback, you're in touch. I mean, let's start with Turner when she says, when she talks about relationships and she says it's about give and take, Tim, and this is going to take time. And we have to take, I saw how the woman could relate to the issues that are tackling anybody. It's easy for us to sit back as individuals and watch what's going on in the Capitol and say, if I was in that position, I could make everything work. bro, it's like the guys that are watching football on Sundays. They're like, oh, how did you miss that pass? I'm like, let me take you down to the field. You see how big and fast these guys are, and you tell me how did you miss that pass. All right? It's a whole different game when you're on the field. It's a whole different game. Anybody can sit back and watch TV and say, I could fix the world or I could make that pass. But when you're in the field, so what's so refreshing about Neera Turner is that she's really I thought maybe Bernie was the end of it. He was a dinosaur. It was like the old man. I think he passed the torch to Neera. Because when you remember, there was no better spokesperson for Bernie during his runs than Neera Turner.
Right.
And now that message, when she talks, she's got the message clear as a bell in her head that she wants to bring forth. And it is about social justice and economic justice and justice down the line, because it's been so unjust for years in every which way.
All right, Gary.
Been unjust
Yes, sir.
financially.
Yeah.
So anyway, to wrap it up, those were the two best interviews back to back. Dooley, with her thing that got me was at the end when she says, people get sick and these are hard times. And we have to be a little gentle on ourselves. We can't beat ourselves up because the world's beating us up. We can't pile on ourselves. Sometimes we're too hard on ourselves. But the world is hard times right now, and we've got to give ourselves a little breather. And that's hard for us to do sometimes.
That's right.
But anyway, I give you a breather now, my brother. And I love you, and I'll talk to you later.
Hey, thank you, Gary, for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. And I want to take this time I want to invite everybody to come check out my series of Inspiring Black Women series that's on YouTube. It's got great interviews, Jennifer Farmer, Zakiya Jabbar, Neera Turner, of course, Dr. Dooley. And 4 incredible black women speaking on issues from healthcare to politics, social issues to education, and to self-awareness and self-growth. And taking care of yourself. Wellness. Yeah. All those things matter, man. So check that out on the YouTube channel. I have an 860 number in the queue. 860, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's up, Johnson? It's Raymond from Connecticut once again.
Hey, what's up,
I ain't
Raymond?
even gonna lie, man. That last caller just fucked my whole head up. I almost lost the topic I wanted to talk about because he was just all over the place. But anyways, I'm gonna go back to your the January 6th bullshit date that it's in everybody's head. So they want to talk about this to basically blind us all from what's really going on. All the bullshit, executive orders that are being signed, all the fuck shit. Fuck the Republicans. Fuck the Democrats. Matter of fact, fuck the whole government. I'm anti-government. I don't like them at all. They don't care about me. They don't care about you. They don't care about anybody in this audience. So I'm just more pro-people. All black, white, doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are, it just doesn't matter. We should all look together as people and stop thinking about what the news is telling you. Instead of thinking about the news is telling you, get in your community, see where and when help, because they're not helping us, point blank, period. That's all I had to say to you. Have a great night, my man.
All right. You said Gary was all over the place. I couldn't even hear your call, man. Something was breaking. Your phone call was breaking out. And dude, like I don't get it, man. People say they can't stand government. They don't trust government. Man, we need government. Government's supposed to work for you. In a society, if you have a government, you got to push it to work for you, because people get a certain age where they can't take care of themselves. Or we have people being taken advantage of. We have children whose parents have passed away, or who parents are addicted to drugs, and we have to have regulations that, if not, companies would just work us all till we dropped and died, man. Like, that's what they did. You know this, right? And some companies are coming very close to doing that now, right? Where they're they're taking advantage of workers. You know what I'm saying? Government has a role. You know what I'm saying? And without it, then these corporations just run roughshod over everyone because it's all about money. So I disagree with that. I understand your point of view. If that's your point of view, I just can't jive with it because there's too much broken. Neither can I jive with this idea that everything will be fine if people just stop looking at color. Man, dude, all the damage is so far done that just a person saying, hey, I don't see color or everybody's the same. Dude, it doesn't work that way. You know? It's not. I don't think people can just say that. Too much damn bad things have been done by systemic racism for us to show up in 2021 and be like, if everybody just stopped looking at color, everything would be fine. Dude, there have been generations upon generations of people who haven't had shit in this country because that's not true. That's not how it works. And you getting on the show or somebody else calling into a show saying, we all just didn't see color, we'd be okay. No, it's never worked that way. And there are people paying, and a lot of people are paying a very high price because they're in a country that does look at race. We got to be in reality. We can't come with this kumbaya bullshit and say that's what's going to fix it. You know, nobody would say that. Like, say you're the family of someone killed by police, wrongfully killed by police. You don't want to just say, well, just overlook it. No, you want to be compensated for that. Because a wrong was done to you that took the life of your loved one. The only people saying we should just overlook it are the people that aren't being hurt by it. But when it's your child that's got his brains blown out by a trigger-happy cop, you'd want some recourse, right? Because you're a human being, and your child life matters. So, you know, I got a problem with people that come with these superficial, artificial, benign ideas of how we're going to solve problems. If we all just do this, first of all, that shit don't work. Our problems are way past what you individually can do. Your ass got no power. So whether you like white people or don't like white people, or Hispanic people or Asian people or Native American people, don't matter. But now if you had a company and you could hire who you wanted, and you could treat some people badly, or if you make products, or if you sat on a bench as a judge, or if you were a doctor, and you were, got to seek, and you got to just prescribe medication or choose not to. Like, you have power. You understand? So that's when it matters. And there are people with power every day who are not going by what you're saying, which is we should all just look at everybody the same. And as I stated earlier, some of this is not even explicit. It's not even intentional. Some of it is unknown biases and not even unaware of the biases that they have. So we can't do that. We can look at the data that shows the name sounds black, bottom of the stack. Okay? That's what we know. That's not a thought. That's not an idea. It's not my suggestion. It's not my complex victimhood. It's none of that, man. It's what it is. We can look at these issues. And the social justice or civil rights did a lot of things. I was watching the clip of Dick Gregory, guys, and he was saying how the civil rights movement did a lot of things. So he said, like, for instance, on the sidewalks, those little indentions, those little ramps on sidewalks, that came about because of the civil rights movement. Because the civil rights didn't say black people, it just said people. So they started doing things for disabled people via the civil rights movement. Up until the civil rights movement, women weren't getting jobs, certain jobs. They were being discriminated big time because the civil rights movement that people keep saying it's black, but now it helped all Americans. All Americans were helped with the Civil Rights Act, those civil rights movement. The civil rights movement impacted all people. So I'm gonna go next call, man. But it would be a beautiful thing if we could just wave the what's that? The baton, wave the, whatever that thing is, the wizard. Wave the wizard thing, the wand. Wave the magic wand. And everybody just no longer sees color. Man, then they would hear voices and be able to tell. Come on, Johnson. They hear your voice and be like, oh, it's black voice. That person has a black voice. That person has a Hispanic voice. Uh-oh. Now we got to take away hearing. Then they be smelling each other. Oh, I smell cocoa butter. N-word. All right, I'm going to go next call, Johnson. 360. 360, you're live. I know I'm bad, 360, but you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black. It is Jamin Mason, Algier State Coordinator for Washington. And I am calling to talk. First question is, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. What's your comment, my brother?
Okay. Hold on. I kicked your video back on. Anyways, first question is, have you received a call from Nick Brunner?
Say what?
Hello?
What,
have you received a call from Nick Brunner?
I'm not answering these questions. Why don't you go ahead and make your statement, brother? You're not interviewing me, brother. So whatever you want to talk about, go ahead and talk about it.
No. Well, I was calling to see if he had called you because I asked him to make that call to apologize, or actually not apologize, but tell of why you weren't on the T-shirt. So that's why I was asking the question. Anyways, to further my statement, I am calling about us, as a black community as a whole. We need to stop fighting. I don't care what your name tag says. I don't care which direction you're coming from. The end goal is for us as a people to be made whole. That's what I'm fighting for. That's what I'm fighting for my child. That's the main goal. So I don't care what your name tag is. Let's work together. I have a good friend that I consider a friend. Her name is Joy. I believe you said she was a moderator. They are from the voters, the black voters group. They have that going on their end. I love them. I wish to see them succeed. I want that to succeed. Am I here?
We hear you. We hear you, Nathan. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay. Sorry. I thought it cut off. Anyways, Joy, all of us, they were put aside from the MPP in the beginning. I got a lot of love for them. I'm still working with them as far as trying to help any direction I can, any way I can. But the point is, I'm still working from within inside the People's Party for Washington, and we're fighting to promote the black agenda. That's my point. I could care less what your name tag is. We are a black people, and we are working towards a common goal for blackness. So, I just want everyone to hear, come to the main mission, which is getting us what we need, what we deserve as a people. I don't care what you are from or where you're coming from, as long as you're walking towards the same goal I am, and what I hope all the black community as a whole walks through the door together.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Go ahead.
Sounds great, John. Thank you, Johnson, for the phone call. We appreciate it, and we get it. We get it. Jesus Christ, we get it. I want black people to stop fighting. You know, these very generic statements. We all should work together. What is this, grade school? Like, seriously, what is this, man? You really think we're going to be able to mobilize people around? We should all work together. Black people need to stop fighting each other and all work together. Like, for what? Like, what's the get? What's the reason? What's the thing? What are you trying to get people to do? And how is that going to inspire people, man? I mean, look, no disrespect, but I didn't really get the purpose of your phone call. And you're 2 minutes in, and I'm sure, like, a lot of people don't even know what you're talking about. So what I can ascertain is that you're part of the Movement for People's Party, and you're black. And you think that the Movement for People's Party is gonna fix the black issues, or I don't know, man. I always have a problem with black people, with the whole, black people need to stop fighting, each other. There's black people that disagree with black people. There's white people that disagree with white people, and Latino people that disagree with Latino people. Disagreement is what happens in the world. What you have to do is have the winning argument. Win them over with the argument. Win the argument. Come to an agreement. Have a win-win scenario that people can buy into. That's what you're looking for. But just to say generically, we need to stop fighting each other. Like, that's not a novel idea.
90 seconds.
There's nothing novel about that. That's not a new thing to say. That's like saying, have a good day. Okay. You too. And it's just like, it's dull. So, have some, I would say my thing is have some goals that people can rally around. Have an agenda.
60 seconds.
Have an agenda that gets people excited, that people want to participate in, and that's how you have a movement. And if you don't have that, you will not have a movement. And people got to be excited. People got to want to sign in, to join in. You got to have a vision and paint that vision for them, where they can get ignited and they want to tell their friends about it. But nobody wants to tell their friends, hey, there's this guy who says we need to stop fighting each other. Come on, man. So that's my suggestion, but I feel you, more power to you. I've stayed out of this MPP stuff. Now I see a lot of people are leaving that organization for a lot of reasons. There's now the people that all said I was full of crap and I was just a hater. Now what are they saying?
10 seconds.
They're probably still blaming me, for me saying that they didn't, whatever, man. I don't even want to get into a conversation about it. These people burned the bridge with me long ago, and then leave the bridge burnt. Fine. I'm cool with that. It's their credibility that's shot, that's in the toilet. And though they try to discredit others who point out very obvious things like, hey, I won't support any organization that doesn't support reparations, that doesn't support a black agenda in some ways to impact black life that's on the bottom rung of this country and has been since the inception. Now, if you don't support that, I'm fine. Go with God. Do your thing. But if you don't support correcting those wrongs, I have no time for you. And I don't care who supports you. If it's Dr. Cornel West or if Jesus himself came back to earth and supported you, I would not. And throwing this person in my face or Fred Hampton, one time he went to a white church and talked to some white people that was racist. Yeah, for how long? What was his prerequisite? So I don't want to get into that, man, because it seems like it's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. And with like all things, the truth comes out. And the truth is coming out. So I would like those people who had a whole lot of nonsense to say, I would like them to apologize. Publicly. Publicly apologize. Publicly apologize for all the smears and shit that I had to endure for 2 months. Go ahead. They won't, Johnson. And you know what? I'm not going to hold my breath waiting on them. We got work to do. I'm going to the next call, Johnson. Let's go to the next call because it ain't about me. It ain't about them. It's about moving on to this next caller who's in the queue. All right. 561, you're alive. What's your name? What's your comment, 561?
Hey, Tim, this is Ty from South Florida.
What up, Ty?
Oh, just out here doing it another day, out here trying to get by. Man, you've been talking a lot. You've said so much. I'm going to try not to ramble off what you said and stick to why I called you. I watched the Fred Hampton movie. I thought it was excellent. I was captivated the whole time. I didn't know about that they were feeding people in the streets, like a lot of people, and they were opening up medical clinics, and that when they got firebombed by the police, that the community, their neighbors, the people that knew them, they all came right there to help rebuild. And this the propaganda by the government telling its citizens that the Black Panthers were the black version of the Ku Klux Klan. I mean, you touched on it a little bit. It's just ridiculous that even today you say the word Black Panthers, and that's what the majority of Americans think, that they are the black version of the KKK, which is the furthest thing from the truth. And, the propaganda and like linking it to today in the Black Lives Matter movement, it's no wonder that it's possible for my friends and neighbors to agree with some of these causes and hate the organization, because they separate the organization from the causes and the real work that they're trying to do. And I mean, it's so bad that, I know a couple of people who, you bring up Black Panthers. I brought it up around, and they said, well, the only thing I know about them is, aren't they the people that raped Jenny and Forrest Gump? That's the extent of the knowledge on these groups and these people's organizations. And I don't know, it was a really inspiring movie. And Fred Hampton, he wouldn't have been able, if he was alive today and locked up, he wouldn't be able to tell these jailers, like the Q shaman, the MAGA shaman, or whatever his name is with the Viking ears. He wouldn't be able to do the same thing and just tell them, I only eat vegan food, and get moved to a different prison and just get fed vegan, just because he says it. And this guy committed real crimes, tried to overthrow the government. Fred Hampton, they got him for stealing ice cream, supposedly, I guess. And the movie led me to believe that he didn't even steal the ice cream. So, I don't know. I got to rambling now, but just the propaganda that causes us to think something different than it really is. I guess that's my whole point. So anyway, thank you for letting me try to explain it.
You did a good job, Ty. Thank you for the phone call, man. And Ty, look, that's why I was saying that the people who are critical of the movie, don't get me wrong, like, we can all be critical of a movie, and we may have a different idea about the movie, right? And I get that. But some of the people that are being critical, they're very knowledgeable about Fred Hampton already, okay? For some people, this will be their first time hearing about Fred Hampton, and as Ty expressed, their first time understanding a little bit more about what the Black Panthers was really about, And that's what's important. I think they underestimate the amount of ignorance there is about Fred Hampton and about Black Panthers and what the Black Panther movement was about. So that's why they look at it the way they do, because they're in the advanced class. And we try to get people to learn addition and subtraction. They're into calculus. They're on the calculus version. You know what I'm saying? So of course to them, this is rudimentary. This is not going far enough. This is not, because you're in advanced class, Johnson. You need to be making documentaries, not watching them. You need to be writing a book. You need to be writing screenplays and directing your own stuff. Hey, man, why not? So take that angst and that frustration that you have about this not going too far, and you create the next iteration. Feel me? because you are in advance and you're at a different level. But I need people to understand. Look, for me, for a person who's down for building movements, who wants to help combat misinformation, just to have people understanding how the government, the distances government agencies will go in order to infiltrate organizations, how they will turn us against each other by installing people, just to get people to think that, to me, is huge. Like, you had me at that. Because I believe there are bad actors in independent media. And there are bad actors in media in general. And I don't think it's all by accident. Okay? So that's what I believe. And I like to show that that's not a crazy notion. That the government does see what we're all doing here, you get people together, get people riled up, thinking about important ideas. We're not sitting around talking about American Idol. We're not talking about The Bachelor, right? We're talking about real stuff. You don't think they're not monitoring what we're doing? You think that somehow they think that, well, we're innocuous. These people that meet the Tim Black show, and this guy Tim Black with these people you don't think that we're not on the radar? Come on, Johnson. So, and that goes for, and think about the other entities that are twice as big or 10 times as big as I am. You don't think they're on the radar, and you don't think that they're going to, that the government's not paying attention? They have to be. They do. So anyway, I'm going to next call. Thank you, Ty, for that one. 402, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yes. Hello, Tim?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. This is my first time calling in. Kelly M., this is me, and I've seen you before, Tim, and you do a good job. I wanted to talk about the Fred Hampton movie. I guess I'm piggybacking on what the previous caller said. I thought it was excellent.
Hold, Kelly M. Give it up for Kelly M., man. That's Kelly M. that's in our comment section. Hey, Kelly, thank you for all you do, brother, supporting the show, man. No,
I'm not Kelly M.
Oh.
No, I'm not Kelly M. I was speaking to texting Kelly M.
Oh.
This is Patrick.
Okay, Patrick, my bad. I thought Kelly M was a woman. I'm like, did I get it wrong all this time? Okay. All right. All right, Patrick.
No, Kelly, I've been texting back and forth with Kelly M. in the chat, and I wanted to call in. Get into the Fred Hampton movie. Man, it was excellent. The acting was great. The script, the theme of the show, it was just the movie. I woke up at around 2 o'clock in the morning because I just purchased HBO Max. And I said, well, let me take a few moments to look at this movie and just see what's going on. I woke up in the middle of the night. So I turned it on, and I watched the first couple of minutes, and it just grabbed me. I was just into it. The very beginning of the movie. And I won't go into detail. Have you seen the movie yet, Tim?
Twice, yes.
Oh, yeah, I saw it 3 times. The first time I saw it, I had to put it on pause. I rewound it because I wanted to hear again what the characters were saying. And then I would go to the internet and I kind of research some stuff. We can do that when you're at home and you're watching a movie as opposed to being in a movie theater.
That's right.
And the actors themselves, it was uncanny how some of the actors actually looked like the characters in real life, And the brother that played Beale O'Neill, what was his name? Lakeith Stanfield.
Lakeith,
it's
yes.
him and the other. Yeah, if they don't get an Academy Award, well, I'm not saying that we should always look for some type of affirmation from the other folks, but I can't think of any other actor this year in any movie, television series that portrayed characterization the way they did. It was magnificent. And I tell you another thing too, Tim, about the balance. After watching Fred Hampton movie this weekend, tonight, me and my lady, we were watching Tyler Perry, Medea's final farewell. You know, and I'm not into Medea movies, but man, let me tell you, after watching an intelligent movie like Fred Hampton, I could actually, when I was watching Medea, I could kind of relax and say, okay, I can leave my brain out in the parking lot and watch this silly Medea stuff, because my mind had been fulfilled with intelligence, with a message of strength and character development. It was a pleasant balance. You follow what I'm saying?
I do. I get it. Yes.
You know. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I just want to encourage people to see the Fred Hampton movie. And I tell you, Tim, I'm hoping that there'll be more quality movies like that. Right. You know, we've got enough, men wearing skirts and clowns and buffoonery. We got enough of that, But to get something of this caliber, see, I have a relative that was in the Black Panthers. I remember I was a kid in the 60s and stuff. So I could relate to what they were saying in the movie, the way they were portraying the true essence, the beginning of the Black Panthers. No, they were not like the Ku Klux Klan. Right. That's, matter of fact, that's where with the Black Panthers, that's how the breakfast program for public schools around the nation started. Free lunch, free breakfast and stuff, because the Black Panthers were doing that in the community. See, a lot of folks in this country don't have an idea of the impact the Black Panthers played. But well, I won't say what the movie, but as in history, we can see how J. Edgar Hoover was determined to destroy the Black Panthers. And you think about Fred Hampton. At 21 years of age, he was ahead of his time. When you compare Malcolm and Martin Luther King and people of that genre, Fred Hampton was a young man and had the vision that he had. So, you kind of see where J. Edgar Hoover and his ilk, they felt they just had to, well, they did. They had to kill him. They had to take Fred Hampton out because J. Edgar Hoover has been known to saying the most dangerous perspective in this country is for black folks to have unity. And Fred Hampton was the kind of man that could do that. And I thought the movie did a good job of presenting that. So I won't take any more of your time, Tim. You're doing a good job, man, and I'm glad I was able to call in and talk to you.
I'm glad you got through as well, Patrick. Thank you, my brother. And, yeah.
All right, sir. Take care.
Important response, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm excited about, the fact that people are, I feel, I don't know, man. I feel very positive knowing that you got something out of the movie. You know what I mean? Because that's the way I saw it, and it's disappointing that everyone can't feel the same way about it, but that's okay. When do we ever all agree on something? Okay? It's kind of rare. I also want to point out, adding on to what Patrick said, Lakeith Stansfield, I think that's his name, Stansfield, who plays the William, that plays William's character, Owen, right? William O'Neill, the man who betrayed Fred Hampton, who infiltrated the Black Panthers at the behest of J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI. Lakeith, in the interview, he said that he had to get therapy after this because his head was totally screwed up, man. He said it was very hard to play that role, that he had panic attacks, he had to run off the set and go for a jog and do all stuff to clear his head to try to do it, because he said he was so worried playing such a negative role would hurt his career, that people would hate him forever for playing this role. That when he read, he was reading for the part of Fred Hampton. He wanted to be Chairman Fred. And they were like, no, we want you to be the guy that sells out Chairman Fred. He's like, oh my God, So it's I thought that truly resonated with me. And I encourage everyone to go watch the respective actors speak, and talk about their experiences. Look at listen to the director talk about what his intentions were. things he said he fell short on in the film. He wished he could have done more. It's very inspirational. I'm going to go to the next call, guys. I got a 214 number in the queue. 214, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim, Trill South in Texas. You know me, I'm always calling.
There you go, brother. What's up?
So,
yes.
I want to tell everybody first to make that like button and make the algorithm work for us. So hit that like. But, I mean, I give you the name Trail South each time. My name is actually Scott. Trail South was developed from meeting back a while and learning some game from when I met up with a close friend of mine, and I spent a lot of time with Pimp C. And I developed Trail South from spending a lot of time with Pimp C, who gave me a lot of game on loan, basically. I don't own the game. I listened. I shut my mouth, which is what a lot of us have to do. Shut our mouth, listen a little, pay attention. So I'm enjoying listening to everybody talking about the movie tonight. I've got health problems. You know, I sent that to you in a tweet about multiple sclerosis. I woke up about 3.5 years ago. I woke up and my legs couldn't move. So I've had to spend a lot of time just sitting and kind of researching and listening to people, trying to elevate conversations and dialogues so that I can learn more and I can pay attention. I just want to say I love what you guys are doing on here. I love what you're doing. I love that you're letting the people speak and you're giving them access to the microphone so that they can get dialogue happening and elevate things through there. I won't ramble on too much, but I wanted to say, hey, I like what you're doing. I've got respect for that. And I shut up and I listen. And I want people to click the like. And I was going to start the movie the other night. I started into it, but health problems distracted me for a moment. So it's on the plans. It's on my HBO Max. It's ready to go. As soon as I have a moment, I'm going to watch, because being a white guy, I started at 14 years old and read Malcolm X's autobiography. Started getting deep into the scene. I later went into hip hop, and that's where Trail South came from. And I wanted to try and close my mouth and give other people the microphone and let them elevate their community, their people, and make a difference. That's all you got to do, is learn to shut up. I know you let us speak on here. I speak too much, but I want to show appreciation and respect to the people who have opinions to help elevate all of our dialogue. So thank you. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to step out. I'm going to let you take over and do what you do. Thank you for doing that. Respect, brother.
Hey, respect. Give it up for my man Scott, y'all. Wow, brother. Brother, you're a soldier. You're a soldier, Scott. Trill South, you're a soldier, brother. And I want to thank you for calling into the show, man, and adding your words and supporting what we do here, man. Because, like I do, man, like we ain't got nothing and we ain't got each other, brother. You know what I'm saying? So we got to work together, man. But you know me, Trill South, man, like I'll work with anybody, but you gotta believe that I'm a human being and I deserve the best, and you gotta want for me what you want for yourself. I can't work with somebody who don't agree with that. Like if you think I'm beneath you or any garbage like that, and you ain't willing to step outside of that racist box you were put into or whatever, the bigotries, if you can't get past that, then we ain't having no conversation, man, because I know some good people out here who don't need to be convinced that all men need to be treated equally. And if you ain't at that point, you need to go work in another organization first and work on you. Because that ain't my job to teach white people not to be racist. That's some bullshit right there. And I don't know what type of lame black people are running around thinking that's their job, but I mean, maybe they work in another organization, that's fine. But when we start talking about left-wing politics, we start talking about Medicare for all, we start talking about end of mass incarceration, we start talking about reparations. I mean, we can't even have those conversations with people that don't understand because, I mean, hell, like Dr. Dooley said, man, Medicare for all is a racial justice issue. Who do you think is impacted the most by not having health care? That's a social justice issue as well as a racial justice issue. When we talk about the Green New Deal, when we talk about cleaning up the environment, we talk about fighting climate change. Who do you think is impacted most by that? These are all racial justice issues because the people at the bottom are always mostly impacted by these situations, by these structures, by systemic issues that that have been protracted and have punished or hurt Americans all this time. We're the ones that always take the brunt of that. Poor people, black people, poor brown people, black people, these are the people that hurt. Indigenous people, we're the ones that suffer, man. But it ain't my job to teach you that black people are just as beautiful, just as special as white people. Like, if you need to be taught that, that's something. There are organizations for that to do that work. So at least come to the table with that understanding. And if not, shut up till you change. I don't need to, it ain't my job to make you understand that, man. That's crazy talk. We can't even, look, it's hard enough to get people to understand that we all need health care. Now I got to teach you that I'm a man. Damn, that my wife matters. My life matters, my wife matters, my kids matter. I got to teach you that. I want to have basic, it's hard enough to get somebody to understand why we need to legalize cannabis. Now I got to teach you how to be a human being that respects people, right to life. Jesus. Come on, man, these are basics. Expect something. I got to have some benchmarks. I wouldn't tell women they need to go and try to teach men not to beat them and rape them. Come on, man. Come on, Johnson. What's up? That's crazy talk. Yeah, ladies, we need you to go into, and teach these men, how not to talk with their fist. Nah, man, there's got to be some criteria, man. First sign that this guy is going to talk with his fist, she need to bounce. What are you? You run an organization for rehabbing men that use their hands? I'm sure there are organizations that do that. But you don't need to be trying to convert this person. So, anyway. These people want me to believe that that's their motivation. Come on, man. Just say you want to broaden your YouTube audience. Just admit that's what you're trying to do. All of a sudden, you're a Gandhi. You ain't Gandhi, dude. What kind of naive people believe that? That you out here being Gandhi, like you Gandhi. And well, and there's questions about Gandhi, aren't there? I don't mean Gandhi because there's questions about him too. And not questions, there's some bad history on him too. Wow. They said he was a flaming racist. Anyway, guys, look, it's been a great show. It really has been a great show. You guys, whenever there's a doubt, we always got the Tim Black Show. We always got great callers. And we took a hit in the algorithm, but we'll be okay. We'll keep going, man, because, look, I burnt my bridges long ago. Like I told Mrs. Black, I burnt my bridges back in 2012. So it is what it is, Johnson. That way. What's up there? I don't know. We'll find out when we get there, but we're going that way. Come on. I got you. So thank you to everybody that called up tonight. Remember, this is where you go. Go look, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. And do we get any new members tonight on the show? No new, we didn't get anybody to sign up tonight. Hey, if you're watching this show and you want to, and you like the show, become a member tonight. Do it. That's what it is, guys. Yeah. Wow. I'm going to go to the comment section real quick as we wrap it up. Let's go to the comment section. We got some comments from the great chat. The great chat is on Facebook and YouTube. People speaking truth to power, man. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you, moderators, for all you do. Thank you to my editors and my moderators. Can't get nothing done without you guys, man. We got a lot of likes tonight, right? 324 likes. Okay. Trill South became a member. Come on now, Trill South. That's a soldier, man. Tony DeMayo says, I'm down to see the Fred Hampton movie. I just looked it up. Look for it on Netflix. Remember, guys, the Fred Hampton movie, Judas and the Black Messiah, is on HBO Max. Kerry Capitola supports the show, as does the clickbaity political thirst trap. Give it up for those guys, man. Oh, man. Clickbaity. Clickbait. How could I say this? I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen, Johnson. You guys are too real. And I said to Mrs. Black, I watched Marcus and Mondale. I said, what? What? These brothers. Come on now, these brothers are like they're like brothers I would kick it with. You know what I'm saying? These are brothers that anyway, look, much respect. I support your elevation, your growth, my brothers, and all that you've done. And yo, give it up for Mondale. Mondale is a multimillionaire. Hey, Mondale, you need not be saying that live on live streams. Because I need a loan. Oh, man, I'm joking, y'all, but folks are funny, man. Nothing but love for you, guys. Let me keep it moving. Scotty Johnson, Scotty Pippen. Scotty Johnson says, love you, Tim Black. Where can I see the movie? HBO Max, my friend. Michael says, Michael hooked me up. Michael Laprado. Tony says, so good to have you back, Tim Black. But thank you, brother. Thank you. I'll be here. Lori Huff supports the show. Bozo Einstein in the house. Biden is Make America Better Again. MABA. Or maybe. That's what it should be, maybe. Metal Rooster, thank you, Tim, for speaking truth. We tired of hearing about Jan 16. Yeah, brother. Sister Johnson, I'm with you. And you know what? I think there's other people that want to say it, but they can't, Johnson, because they have a job. And they have bosses. So they can't really tell you that. Oh, man, you should have saw them falling all over themselves because Trump spoke about Mitch McConnell. They were like, yes, 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 yes. I'm telling you guys, their earnings are flat. Their earnings are flat like a pancake. Their earnings are down, Johnson. Levon Huey in the house. Thank you, Levon Huey. Bones Einstein once again. Levon Huey says, class reductionists missed the point. The point is to convert right-wingers to progressivism. Not just talk to them to find common ground. Woo! Look, man. Hey, convert some centrists with some policies that make their lives better. Let's do that, you know? That's where I'm at. Right-wing extremists. You know, maybe somebody, look, if you want to start an organization that goes out and tries to recruit militia types and right-wingers, fine. More power to you. Yeah, but let's not pretend that we don't have enough going on right here where we at. Hell, let's get some of these disaffected voters that don't vote because they don't think the politicians give a damn about them. Let's go get them. You know, let's go get them. Kelly M, yes, Tim, I am a woman, and you, Patrick and Ty, have convinced me to get HBO just for free. And you know what? You can always cancel it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I tell people. You can always cancel it. But it was and like I said, it touched me so much. The movie impacted me because Fred Hampton was only 21 years old. I'm like, man, what do I have to do to have this type of impact? This man was 21 years old and we're still talking about the impact he had, the impact he has created. And I'm a lot older than 21. So what am I going to do, man? Come on now. So, like, we all need to look at ourselves and say, what would Fred Hampton do? But thank you, Kelly M, my sister. Yeah, I got mixed up there with Pat. Because he said something about Kelly M. I'm like, Kelly M? I know Kelly M is a big supporter of this show. I know that. DC Moby in the house. DC Moby in the house, thank you. And then we have my friends joining. Trill South in the house. Trill South, brother. Thank you for sharing, man. Thank you for sharing your story. I ain't going to forget that, man. That Pimp C story and the rest of it as well, brother. All right, guys, it's late. I'm hungry. I love you. I'll see you soon. Tomorrow I got Ben & Jerry's. Not the ice cream, the people. Tomorrow I'm going to do a live, well, it's not going to be a live interview. Tomorrow I'm going to have a sit-down interview with Ben & Jerry about qualified immunity. They're working with an organization with a delegate here out of Maryland, my home state, to pass legislation to end qualified immunity. And I'm going to talk to them about it. So that's going to be dope. And I would also like to try to book the Maryland delegate. So yeah, how about that? All right, guys, we do this work because it's what matters. I'll see you soon. Remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread and sprinkle some facts on them. We are out of here, Johnsons. Be safe now. Facebook, where you at, Facebook? Sandra Thompson, what's up? Gary, what's up? Curtis, what's up? Candace Wright. What's going on, people? What's going on, Johnson? Natalie Capel, thank you so much. Judy Pulley, thank you. Judith, love you back. And we are out of here. Wolfpack. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
With over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to CoolStreamsTV.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.